We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We're back. Last week, a little bit beyond my control. It was all me. So glad to see you guys. I'll be back with you. It wasn't Adria this time. It wasn't Renikia. It was Taiwan. So here we are. So we'll let Adria take it over from here.
Welcome. It is Thursday, and we're here for our weekly Flippinar. And I would like to note how Tyrone just tried to throw me under the bus about me being habitually late all the time. I noted, duly noted. Roosevelt, hey, first person on YouTube, Terry Free from Baltimore. As Tyrone said, we are live across Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So make sure you tag a friend, bring someone along. We're going to be talking about wholesaling houses and how you can make cash with little to no money of your own, no credit. As we do every week, I'm giving you some knowledge on how you can create, as Ms. Renikia would call it, generational wealth for you and your family. This is free information. Most courses are paid for. This is free. You have 250 plus videos which are available to you on YouTube that Ty provides, along with his contract and tons of other wealth of knowledge to get you making some money in your pockets. As always, when you're posting your questions, please give me a name. Oftentimes I cannot pronounce or can't read your hashtags. Tell me where you are. Oftentimes the questions can be better suited to you if I know your location. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I like to do a little shout out to all my peoples. Bernita, Ram, Jade, Dachari, Get a Bar, Rel, Rockin', Robin, DC, Lansing, Illinois, Chicago, Florida. Where's Shaq from Detroit? Clifton in Birmingham. Let's see, Tennessee. We got somebody from Compton. Yeah. So as usual, post your questions. I'll read them. Ty will answer them. Renikia is not with us this week, but she is still available for your financing needs for holding homes. I will give you her email address towards the end of this. So let's go ahead and start posting our questions. I see you, Vet. Let me flip over to Facebook because I haven't even begun to look there yet. Let's see who's over there. Hopefully, Mr. Eric. Up. I got my sound up. Bailey Ray, Manuel Williams, and Edmund Baker. I see you guys. Go ahead and post your question. Who's up first? First of all, are you ready, Ty?
I'm ready.
Oh. You know what? All of these people are telling me where they're from. West Side, DC, Dayton. Kimberly from Dayton, Air Flip Properties. Okay, first question. Ram Evans on YouTube. I am currently doing yellow letters from your video. How many people get the list from List Source?
I'm sure thousands of people get them. I've been in several, multiple, I don't know how many, but closings where the actual seller, which I already knew they had, how they found or called me, or why they called me, because I sent them something in the mail. But they let me know because of how I mailed my item to them. They called me, so they had a table full of envelopes. Postcards of different people contact them. So, but it's no different, than sometimes you eat at McDonald's, sometimes you eat at Burger King, sometimes you eat at Wendy's, sometimes you eat at Crystal, sometimes you eat at Zaxby's, depending on where you are, or White Castle, which I don't even know what that is. I just hear other people say it. So just an option. So a lot of it's just simply timing. But if they're not getting anything from you, you don't have a chance of anyone calling you using that particular method. That's not the only way, but it is a very effective way. So.
All right. So Ram's question was essentially how many people get that same list. So
Well, everybody's. I guess I didn't answer then. Everybody's not going to put in the same criteria because the zip codes you may target may be different than the zip codes I target. The square footage or the number of bedrooms and baths may be different than what you target. So it's not just like what you just go in and you just buy one list from list stores. You have to put in certain criteria to on what you're targeting. Now, there's going to be some overlap with other investors for sure, but everybody's criteria may be a little different. But again, it's still going to be some overlap because absentee owners in one particular zip code is just absentee owners in one particular zip code, and it depends on how many of them you are targeting.
okay. And White Castle is the equivalent of crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jaquise from Houston. Hey, Nicolette is in Houston as well. And hey, Jin Woo. Jin Woo is my boo thing. Mm-hmm. All right, so Jim Lee's question is, when getting a seller under contract, do you send to the title company attorney or just start posting for a buyer?
You can, but they're going to normally charge you. So I highly recommend to my students, and I guess non-students, because I've put that out there on several videos, but wait until you get a buyer, because sometimes the buyer is not going to want to use who you use. So you might as well wait until you get a buyer and then go from there.
Okay. Sticking with the question from YouTube. How do you wholesale a deal from out of state? I found the deal. He's viewed the property. All is ready. What should my fee be? It's quite a few questions all in one there.
So how do you wholesale a deal from out of state? Number one, you got to have someone on the ground representing you. He means he's found a seller. He doesn't mean a buyer, right?
He says he has the deal. Everything's ready.
Well, if everything's ready, then you set up the closing and you get paid. No different. If you got a buyer and seller in place under contract, it's just simply time to set up a closing. And they'll send you your money by mail, or you could do a bank wire.
Okay, let's see here. Have you all, Yvette has a good question. I haven't even thought about this. Have you all had any luck with door hangers? If so, what's your strategy? That really wouldn't be too cost effective. That's a lot of, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, the interview, I think she said that was one of her methods. I don't know if she's produced any results from it yet, but the lady Talisa that I did that was in Houston that made the $28,000 on her first wholesale deal. She that's one of her methods. Me personally, something is better than nothing. I'm going to always side on that, but there's better use of your time because you got to put a lot of them out there in order to get the response that you're looking for, and you got to be consistent with it or whatever. So either you're going to be putting them out there yourself, or you're going to pay someone to do it, but you got to put a lot of them out there. The way I look at it, you can put 1,000 door hangers out there, right? And I don't know what that would cost in printing, maybe a couple $100 or whatever. Or you spend that same couple $100 and you can reach 1,000 eyeballs just in banner signs every day or whatever. So, but again, something is better than nothing. It's just something that I wouldn't do because it's not much I haven't tried. And I've done door hangers, and I don't know if I gave it a big enough shot or we didn't put enough out there, but I didn't get one single call. But, but I'm going to never tell you not to do just because you didn't get a call. I don't think we actually put enough and we're not consistent with it. I just know there's better use of your time and money, in my opinion.
All right. Let's see here. Robert Cooper on Facebook has a question. He says, would you send yellow letters or a professional letter to apartment owners?
If you're dealing with just everyday people, meaning that the property is not listed under an entity, what I mean by that, or in a corporation or an LLC or something like that, more than likely you're mailing to the actual owner and not maybe a property management company or a larger group. Well, let me just say this first. I don't really do yellow letters. When I send a letter, it's not yellow. It's more of how I would send a letter outside of doing the mail to flip stuff, but how I send an actual letter. I'm going to send it like you would send something UPS or FedEx in that size. I think it's a 9.5 by 12.5 envelope or whatever. So it's going to get their attention just with that alone. It's going to be that same weight of cardboard mailer that FedEx and UPS use. So I'm going to get their attention anyway with that. Whether it's a house or apartment, it's just going to be a typed up letter, basically introducing myself and asking them, are they interested in selling that particular property or any other property, so that they own.
Okay. David Flores on YouTube. Are you generating quality leads through digital marketing such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube?
I don't do enough of it to really say that's still a work in progress for me. I have had success over the years. I've been doing it so long, but it's so expensive to do that as far as Google AdWords, which is one. But with Facebook ads, I really haven't figured it out. It's just a different animal when you're targeting sellers on Facebook. If anyone's figured it out, holler at me. I'm ready to give up anything I know on anything I know if you figure that out or whatever. But it's a different animal. But speaking of Facebook, I think we're over 4,000 now as far as people in the group there. Appreciate everyone that's been commenting and adding value to the group. I get in there and the few comments I make, it can just be that can be a job in itself, just trying to respond to everybody. But I try to get in there and add my 2 cents. Maybe that's adding some value. Torian is doing a good job of keeping up with everything. That's my guy. I guess you would say my web partner. And but if you want to join the group, make sure you get over to flipmanpodcast.com. Also there you can access my podcast, these Flippinars and other videos through iHeartRadio, iTunes for Apple devices, and for Android devices. Obviously you can use iHeart, but also Spreaker. So flipmanpodcast.com. You can join the Facebook group there, but you can also join or listen to my podcast on iHeartRadio.
All right, there you have it. Plug and chug right there. Hey, Shat, about time you jumped on. He wants to know, have you used On Carrot? I don't know what that is. You heard of that?
It's basically a website platform where for investors to create their own website or whatever. So I'm familiar with it, but I've never used it before.
Okay. Aaron T. Kamen on YouTube. That's hello. As far as the one-page contract A to B, is there a different contract B to C to the buyer? No. You can use the same one for A to B and B to C. The one-page contract that Ty makes available to you guys on flipman.net. Yeah, you can use it for both. It covers it. Really, no addendums, no memorandums needed. But I know a lot of y'all like adding stuff just because you can. Go ahead, but it gets the job done, and it has for Ty for 14 plus years. So just putting that out there. We have a question from Instagram.
15 plus years.
Potato. Don't start.
2003, man.
Okay. 15 plus years.
18 subtract 3 is 15 plus years.
Did you really? Oh, did you really just insult? Oh, we gonna keep it moving. On Instagram, since they were on time and you weren't. Let's see here. I have a question. Flipman, is it okay to place bandit signs on family members and friends if you ask them? You just gonna put the sign on them, like on the person? I'm hoping he means like in their yard, but that ain't what you said. But
Well, you answer that. What do you think?
If they willing to wear the damn sign, let them wear the sign.
No. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, seriously. Anybody, any advertisement is good advertisement. If they're willing to let you put the sign in their yard, then put it in their yard. I mean, if it's in an area that's, going to get the traffic that you need, but would I waste a sign in a family member's yard in the middle of a neighborhood, or put it in a drive-through at McDonald's on the, with zip ties? I would probably choose McDonald's. So it's all on how you want to use the signs. If you have enough to put in neighborhoods, go for it. But that's not enough traffic, I would think. But I don't know. They might live on a very busy street. Could be. But they asking you the questions, not me.
No, it's simple. They answer their own question. Is it okay to put signs on family members? I'm assuming the family member is saying it's cool. So, go back to what I said about the door hangers. Anything is better than nothing. You just never know what eyeballs are passing that message, especially if someone, a family member let you place a sign in their yard or whatever. So, oh yeah, most definitely.
All right. Another question from Instagram. Flipman, is it a lot more difficult to wholesale properties that have realtors involved?
Well, yes, it is, but it's done all the time. But it's just more difficult because a couple of reasons, in my opinion, and from my experience. You're automatically injecting someone's else financial interest into the deal. Now, realtors will say, well, I'm acting in behalf of my client and I'm professional. Okay, all that may be true, but at the end of the day, your bills are what's most important first. So realtors get paid on commission. So the more a house sells for, the more money that they make. So yeah, as long as you understand that. All right. So now how you can put them or increase your chances of them working in your favor as far as getting an offer accepted, then ideally, you don't want to bring your own real estate agent to the table. In my opinion, you want to deal directly with the listing agent. And if you don't understand what that means, is that whenever you see a property listed by a real estate agent, it's rare that they list the property with the seller and then actually find the buyer for it. They depend on other real estate agents to find a buyer for. And that's the power of using that network within any particular market. But if another agent brings a buyer to the table, then they expect half the commission. That's the way it normally works. So using 6%, which is a common percentage on the gross sale of the property. So instead of them getting the full 6%, so now they'll get 3% outside of what they'll split with their actual broker if they're not a broker. So if you contact the listing agent directly, you give them an opportunity to keep the entire 6%. So now that, again, increases your chances, but a lot of them are so blind to it's just amazing. I don't even want to start talking that way now because I know I got some agents here. I don't want people to think that, but I'm just telling you what I know and what I've experienced. But they're so, I guess the only word I can use is greedy, that they're actually losing money in that sense by not thinking outside the box because, and this is long-winded, but I think it's a good question. You can just I'm just going to do some quick math here. They get paid, so we're going to use an easy number like $100,000. Say it's a $100,000 gross sale, right? So 6% of that we know is $6,000. If another agent was brought to the table, then that means they would only get $3,000, right?
Right.
Okay, so if you made an offer to them and you contacted the agent directly, so another agent is not involved, they can keep 100%. So if you made an offer of 60,000, which is 40,000 less than what was being they were trying to sell for, then if they get the entire 6%, so now that's $3,600, even though it's a $40,000 difference from the asking price versus if another agent was brought to the table. So that's $600. That's $600 more that they would make, even though it's $40,000 less. Now it's different. See, and then the reason I'm bringing it up because a lot of times sellers will take the opinion of the realtor strongly as far as negotiations and offers. It's one thing if an agent goes back to a seller and says, hey, someone just offered $60,000 on the house, but I think we can do better. They're trying to lowball. I think we should wait. Okay. That's one. If they go to them that way, then the seller might be, yeah, you're right, blah, blah, blah. Because there's obviously more money for them too. But if the agent went to them and said, hey, the property's been on the market, I don't think we can get much better, but we got an offer, which is quite a bit less than what we were asking, but I think it's probably going to be the best we can do. Someone offers $60,000. I think we should take it. You know, they have a role or some influence on what happens. So the agent in that situation, they would actually make $600 more, you know, but a lot of them, they don't just get that immediately. The only thing they hear is that, hey, we were asking 100, but you offer 60. So they just going to automatically think that, hey, I'm going to make less instead of, oh, I'm actually going to make more, even if we sold it full price, because the buyer is not bringing another agent to the table. So I said all that to say is that dealing with an agent, you just have to know what you're dealing with and try to use the greed of agents against them and in your favor. But on top of that, you have to understand that if you're going to deal with a real estate agent, they're going to want to use their contract, which is normally whatever is sanctioned by the board in that particular market or state or whatever, which is fine as long as the terms meet what you wanted to do. And they're going to want $500, $1,000 in earnest money, which is fine if you have it. And then they're going to normally want proof of funds. So as long as all of those things are understood and understanding the psyche of an agent, and you know how to try to maneuver and put it into your favor, then boom, roll with it. That was a long answer, wasn't it?
Man, I'm sitting here thinking like, golly.
Did it make sense though? that's the main thing. Did it make sense?
Yeah, it made sense. I understood absolutely what you were saying. But my goodness, we won't ask that question. Don't ask that question no more, y'all. I'm gonna refer y'all back to this video every time. He will not answer that question about dealing with the realtor anymore.
Show 51. We didn't even announce the show. Show 51. We're about probably about 25 minutes, 22, 24 minutes in. Probably 20 minutes in. I answered the question.
Why is it 36 minutes after 6, but we're only 20 minutes in?
Because I was late.
Oh. Wow. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I was late, man. My bad.
I just wanted to put that out there. I wanted to come out your mouth. Okay.
It's better than not being here at all. We were not here at all last week. I was incapacitated.
Yeah, you get an excuse. Everybody gets a day.
Yeah.
That was your day. Yeah, you deserved it. Okay, so Terry Free on YouTube asked a question, and you probably said this 5 times already. So I'm going to read Terry's question. And I'm going to answer Terry's question, and we're going to move on. Terry's question is, how do you feel about creating homemade bandit signs when you're low on funds? The answer is something is better than nothing.
But.
Oh, gosh.
There's a method to the madness now. I seen a guy post on the you
saw that?
The Facebook group. And he went to a Dollar Tree. The only problem with that, if he's buying what I think he's buying,
he got the foam boards.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna hold up in the weather though. Yeah, and then it didn't look like he used the right type of markers that are gonna hold up.
Yeah,
I may be wrong or whatever, and I hope I am wrong. But you can get corrugated plastic signs from Home Depot. They'll sell them in the large sheets, so you have to cut them down. But it's so important with that. That's important, the right type of material, but also the right type of markers. Now, the markers, only place I can find the markers that I'm looking for, I guess you can get them online somewhere. They're the bold Sharpies. I like red, and they used to have a blue, which was perfect. The only ones I can find is black. So those the bold water, what they call water.
It's water resistant.
Whatever it's called. I'm sorry, but anyway, so As long as you're using the right markers or whatever. But again, something's better than nothing. I don't know how long. I would like for him to follow. I wish he would follow up and let us know how long those stayed up, because I can just look at them and I know that material is not going to last long in weather in most cases. So hopefully he got the right marker and get a little punch out of them, a few leads. So.
All right. So Terry, it's not your bad. I see you put that there. It was actually a good question because you need to know what to go get, because the foam boards aren't going to hold up regular poster boards. I mean, that's good for a garage sale for the weekend, but not anything.
And that ain't even good. I'm such a stickler when I see somebody, well, we're doing a car wash or a garage sale and they have some poster paper. It may be like, I know you want to be different and stand out. They have some poster paper. It may be like a green or a pink or something. They're using just a small pen marker or something, writing garage sale this way or whatever. I'm like, people, Lord have mercy. White background, bold markers. White background, bold markers. Now those what is those called from Dollar Tree that he bought? What type of the phone? Now those will work good for something like that for 1 day, 2 days. Oh, you're in business. But for what we're talking about, you're trying to get some longevity out of them. No, but I did. Oh, I was like, oh.
You done?
Yeah, it's just one of my little pet peeves.
I know. I was trying to end it. Terry, that's your fault. That long-winded question is your fault, Terry. All right.
I'm a little long-winded on everything tonight. What kind of cake do you like, Tyrone? Well, actually,
don't start. Okay, so Rockin' Robin, you missed it. They do fold up in the weather. Yes, they do. The best marker is, it's one sitting right there. I can't even go get it, but it's a fat marker. It's by Sharpie.
You know what?
Fat tip. It says water resistant, oil based. That's the one I like. Because you know the water's gonna beat up on the oil. A little science there. But yeah, it'll work.
Let me button my pants up here. I'm gonna go get one. I got one over here. Huh?
Go on.
Oh.
You just slowing the whole show down today. Right. All right. I'm going to go ahead and read Melissa McCall's question on YouTube. Melissa is a realtor, and in regards to that long-winded answer that Ty gave a little while ago, she says, "Hey, Flipman, Hey, Flipman, I am a realtor, and I've seen the wholesale as an advantage to my real estate business. If I run into a person with a property, my first idea is to try to wholesale the deal. But if they aren't desperate to sell, then I can list it. Feels like the best of both worlds. Thanks for the knowledge. Gonna be closing my first two wholesale deals next month." So Miss McCall is a realtor who's a part of our group here, and she states that, hey, wholesale could be a good thing.
Ms. McCall, you are way ahead of the curve of your counterparts to even have that mentality. I can assure you can go in your office. If you all have 30 agents in there, 25 of them have never even heard of wholesaling.
But I like that idea. She said that's her first option. Get it done. All right.
It could be because you can make more money.
Rocking. There's his big markers.
Here they are. Yeah. So I can only find these at Michael's. Now I'm sure you can order them online or whatever through eBay. Or eBay and Amazon or whatever. But these are it.
Yeah.
If they're not this size, and what do they say? They're water based. That's what it says, right? They're water based, right? If they're not those, they'll last outside. You're wasting your time. Hope I don't put any on me here. No, it should be good. Look how large that tip is. Look at that. Yeah, you can get a good stroke there. That's so important, man.
Did you say you get a good stroke with that big tip?
Well, yeah, whatever. So, see? Boom. Well, hey, aren't we helpful? Huh?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Use Sharpie Magnum's markers. You just keep right on going. Yes,
Well,
Shaq.
well, you can do that, but I like to
Magnum
go.
markers for
You're
self-made.
not going to find the Magnum in a red though. You want those offsetting colors so they'll stand out. That's the reason I do two colors. I would prefer for this one to be blue. I don't know why Sharpie stopped making this one in blue, or making a blue option rather, or whatever. Anyway, so hey, whatever.
Yes,
Okay.
J. Royale Johnson. So you're saying size matters. Size does matter for the stroke. You need to have a big tip. Marker. Sharpie. Marker. I'm sorry.
We're going off the rails here.
I'm reading the comments. I'm sorry. Okay,
Can't read
so
all of.
I'm not reading anymore. Okay, so reading Sammy Poole's question on Facebook, he says he's been watching your videos for 3 months now. You have a life, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, he's been watching the videos for 3 months now, and he's ordered 50 bandit signs to start. He lives in Aurora, which is the biggest city in Illinois, but I don't see any
Wait
bandit
a minute,
signs.
bigger than Chicago? Oh, I know that's a suburb of Chicago.
Um, I don't know. Anyway, should I stay here or go to where I see signs to place mine?
Answer that.
Oh, really? Okay. So if you don't see any bandit signs, that could be A, nobody else is putting any up, or two, they're taking them down so fast you never see them. What you can do, since you only have 50, which is a rather small number, but again, saying it for the 1,000th time, something is better than nothing. I would take 5, place them strategically, see how long they stay up. If they come down the very next day, don't even waste your time. You don't have enough for them to be taken down and thrown away. You need to go somewhere else, maybe on the outskirts of Aurora. I don't know how that works or whatever. On the outskirts, and see how that works, and put them where you see them staying up. If they're staying up somewhere else, then yeah, that's where you need to put your signs up. And did I answer that right? Since you tested me.
Yeah. Have you asked anything from Facebook?
That question is from Facebook.
What's his name?
Sammy Poole.
Oh, there he is, right there.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Yes, oh yeah.
Sure is.
There he is. Go ahead. We're good. You did good.
Okay, so Sammy, hopefully that answered your question. Let's see here. Sean Brown, question on Facebook. You gonna put that up? Mm-hmm.
I'll put him up.
He says, "What's up, family? What's going on? I'm still new to wholesaling, but I'm hungry and not scared to grind. Yay! I know every market is different, but I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth marketplace, and I would like to know what group of sellers have you had the most success with being highly motivated? Tax delinquent, probate, absentee owners, or anything else otherwise?"
Well, absentee owners is going to encompass all of that and more. So I like that shotgun approach. Just targets absentee owners, and it can be probate, tired landlords, divorce situation, out of town owners, just on and on. I just target absentee and let it take the owner. Now you could be a little bit more niche and go with tax delinquent or whatever, and that's totally up to you, obviously. But absentee takes care of all of that. Now, the biggest group of individuals that are going to call you in most cases are tired landlords. In reality, that's going to be the largest group of one type of motivated seller, going to be tired landlords.
Okay. And Sammy Poole says it's the second biggest city in Illinois.
There you go.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Tony Gregg. He says hi. He's from Albany, Georgia. Mo, hello. And Danielle checking in from Central VA. Okay, Mr. Charles, I apologize. You're absolutely correct. We will keep it clean. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see here. Next question. We're going to take it from YouTube. Let me scroll up. I've skipped quite a few. Deshari Thomas wants to know, do you tell sellers that you are a wholesaler? And how do you get the sellers to trust you? Why would you, Mr. Sherry? Did they ask? Don't give them any more information than they need to know.
Well,
You are
well,
an investor. You're buying their home.
that's what the contract says. Yeah, it
That's
doesn't matter
that's
where the
what your
money comes.
contract says. If a
Doesn't matter where the
seller,
money comes from.
in the words of Mr. Taylor, if a seller is asking you, are you a wholesaler, and using that term, if a seller is asking you, do you have the money up front? Is it in your bank account? Are you writing a check? If a seller is asking you, are you taking my house and then going to give it to somebody else and sell it? That's not a motivated seller. That's probably another wholesaler, if anything. And that's someone who knows the nature of the game and it's probably not going to work out too well for you. So yeah, you don't tell them that you're a wholesaler. Now, I'm not stating that you lie if if they ask, but that's just some information that you don't need to divulge. And how do you get them to trust you is by acting like you know what you're doing. Speaking as if you know what you're doing. Speaking as if even if you don't, come back and ask us later. But hey, BS your way through it. Okay? You got this, DeSherry. Did I answer that one correct?
Well, yeah, you did a good job. Can I add a couple things?
If it's gonna take you less than 30 seconds.
Well, I think I can do that. Yeah, the reason that you don't get into wholesale, just like you have a ton of questions right now, and you probably spent hours trying to educate yourself on it. Imagine trying to explain it to a seller in 5 minutes. They're not going to want to deal with you. So it's not important. As long as you can perform, it's not important. You are a cash buyer. You close in 2 to 4 weeks. You pay all closing costs minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens, and you buy as is. 30 seconds, boom.
Whatever. More like 31, but okay. We'll let that go. Sheila Mitchell on YouTube says, hey, Ty. That's the only person you see, Sheila. Wow. Okay. Next question. Shani Macy's question. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sheila's question. Hey, Ty, in making an offer to buy properties in the hood, should I have a person stay there while renovating? There are squatters living there now.
Is she trying to renovate it herself?
Not sure. In making an offer to buy property in the hood, should I have a person stay there while renovating? There are squatters living there now.
Only if you're trying to wholesale it. I mean, trying to do the renovations or rehab it yourself. Otherwise, if squatters are there, you're going to have to. Most buyers are not going to want to buy unless it's just an unbelievable deal. Where someone's living there, some will, and they'll just go through what it takes to get them out. So you'll have to play that by ear or whatever. If a squatter is there, that's just one more reason you should get it cheaper than you probably normally would get it cheap, because that can be a headache to get them out of there. And so from there, you just have to market the property that squatters are there. And, depending on what buyer you're dealing with, they may want you to remove them before they do the deal. They'll do it as soon as you can get them removed. And so if that happens, normally what I've done in the past situations like that, I'll just pay them to leave, but only after I got my money. So that normally works, because you just have to make them understand you're going to have to leave. You might as well get paid to leave.
Okay. Michael Stanley says, I just met with my sellers today for the first time. They thought I was an expert and have been doing this for years. There you go. Walking like you're talking.
That's it, buddy.
All right. Peace, love, and happiness _22 on Instagram wants to know, is there a script available on what to say to sellers? Is there a video on that?
Yeah, I have one. It's called the Top 10 Questions to Ask Sellers When Wholesaling Houses. Just go to YouTube and do a search for that title. You should see one of my videos.
Oh, Ty, I got a question for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You ready? It's Shani Macy's question. Get ready. Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone. I'm new to wholesaling, and I'm just wondering, Mr. Flipman, do you have any videos on definitions of common wholesale lingo? Oh my gosh. Did she just ask, do you have any videos?
Well, let's turn.
Well, she was specific. specific though.
Yeah.
She
You know,
was.
that is a good.
Somebody actually posted that in the Facebook wholesaling with Mr. Flipman group about what the, D for D and driving for dollars and ARV and comps, all that stuff, a definition worksheet. So it's actually a good question. I was just being funny about the video part.
Yeah, that'll be can you do that in one video? I guess that might be a long video though, wouldn't it?
No, I don't think so.
It's a lot of terms, because in the ebook I have some, I don't have them all, but I have some that was relative to what I was talking about in the ebook that you can purchase if you want. But I have what you call a glossary of terms or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I get, that would be a good video to come out with. But I guess it's just some basic words, ARV, what is wholesaling, flipping versus wholesaling, what's the difference? What is a deed? What is a title company? What is a closing attorney? What else?
You will probably go into like the A to B.
What is a contract?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you can get so deep in all of those topics, so you don't have to you would have to just keep it to a definition of what it is, and you can't really get into, because I could probably spend 2 hours just talking about that many terms, so I would just probably just give out definitions. Maybe you and I do. I can get you to work. We can come up with that or whatever and just do it, one time or something. So.
And the words of Scooby-Doo. Oh?
What? Yeah, but whoever asked that question, great question. So to answer your question, no. The ebook, not trying to sell it, but trying to sell it. It does have a glossary, but I don't know how many words I have in there, but yeah, I guess I can put that together. That'll be a good video. What would we title that video?
Common wholesale lingo.
Oh, you bad.
That was in her question.
You bad.
Yeah. Yeah, keep it simple. All right, moving along. Good question, Shani. Appreciate that. Always giving us ideas on how to make this information better for you guys, a little bit more accessible. Hey, good free information. Might as well ask while you can. Okay, yeah. Sam Brown on Facebook, this is a Facebook question, says, hello, Mr. Taylor. I'm using direct mail marketing, which I learned from you back in 2010. Is there any better marketing campaigns available? If so, where can I find them? Thank you. Hey, Sam.
Sam.
Mail2flip.com.
Yeah,
I'm wearing that shirt today. Yeah.
Oh, you got yours on? Oh, I got the other one on. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, go to YouTube and do a search for Mail to Flip. Hold that up again, Adrian. We can't see it. Hold it up again.
Mail2flip.com.
Yeah, mail2flip.com. Just go there, Sam. Just do a search for that on YouTube, Mail to Flip. And I have a video to explain. Basically what it is postcards. It's all about with direct mail, as you know, is getting the owner's attention, and you just let the numbers take over them calling you or whatever, if you got what they're looking for. But basically what it is that the service that I'm affiliated with, they actually put the owners, the picture of their property that you're targeting on the mailer. This is one right here. They actually would do it with letters also, right here. And then here's a smaller postcard. These are one of the returns that I had. So they're different levels. They have all different options. But, boom, you send this to an owner, they're like, man, that's my house. These people are crazy. Let me call them and see how crazy. So, boom. So Mail to Flip, man. Check it out to answer your question.
All right. And speaking of that, affiliations, I don't remember the gentleman's name, but I saw him posted on Facebook and on YouTube. He wanted to know about Rehab Valuator, but you have on the show, we use Dilulator.
No, that's the same thing. That's where it goes.
I know, but we need you to go through Dilulator.
Yeah.
.com. It's another affiliation. We're still working on something that's coming soon. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking a lot longer than what I thought is to get it like I want. So I don't know when it's going to be finished. So until further notice, you can still roll with them or whatever.
DoYouLater.com. What it does is it helps you assess repairs, basically how much you need to offer, is it a deal? Basically, is it even worth your time? You can plug and chug several factors, and it spits you out a number. In some of our earlier videos, if this is 51, I would say maybe 29, 28, 30. We were using split screen and showing you how to use it. You might want to go back to one of those, but DoYouLater.com. Yep. And Chelsea says a lingo video. I think they really want that. A lingo video. Yeah. Because Rockin' Rama says everybody doesn't know what EMD, ARV, JV, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Oh, but Shaq says there is one out there called a real estate dictionary app.
Oh, okay. But is it catered to wholesaling?
I mean, those terms really aren't specific to wholesaling, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one. We just need to come up with a good list.
Woo! Somebody lit the fire.
Yeah, I'll do that. I may do that this weekend if I can. Okay, yeah, that's what's, yeah.
All right. You ask and you shall receive, subscribers. Way to go. Okay, so King Emmanuel on Facebook says, hey, Flip Man, I'm going to call you, inbox you. I want to get started flipping houses. Oh, okay. That's great. Sam says, thank you. Paulina says, repeat that. I'm not sure what I said, Paulina, but we're going to repeat that. Let's see here. Mo Latrice on Facebook wants to know, is there a video on how to get the repair costs?
Yeah. Just go to YouTube, repair costs, Flip Man. And I think I got a couple of them. So, yeah.
Paulina, the very next question on Facebook, what's the repair cost? I guess how much does the repair cost software cost?
Well, she's talking about the DoYouLater stuff.
DoYouLater.
I think it's what, 29. You can get it for $29 a month or something like that. They have a free option. It's called it's the light version or whatever, and you can use that free. I just don't think it gives you all the bells and whistles, but I think you can at least calculate whether you have a deal or not. So.
Okay, let's see here. Let's get some questions on YouTube. Alex says, Ty, out of the 3 ways you explained on how to find an ARV, which one do you use the most? If the values of the houses sold around the property are extremely varied, how do you find the ARV?
I'm looking for consistency as far as the highest numbers. So if I do it by square footage or do just by, the actual price sold, same thing at the end of the day. But I'm looking just for consistency at the highest point. All right. Just as an example, just give you 5 numbers. You may have a property, you find 200,000 as a recently sold property. You may find 140, 137, then 130. And then a 5th one may be 89. So that 130, 137, 140, though, that's probably what I'm going to roll with in that range there. So you can just pull a number anywhere in that range there, 129, 140, 132, whatever you want to do. So something in that range. That's normally how I'm going to do it. Now, I'll look a little more deeper if I'm not familiar with the area. But, as far as the Birmingham market, I'm so familiar with the area. If I see that, I'll just know or whatever. So.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Ty, guess what? There's a comment on YouTube and it says, Mom, y'all starting to crack me up. I did not know you was that funny. I am fist to go gangster on her. That little one.
Oh, that's your
yes.
baby.
Yeah. Ooh, see, that's why Mike
What
Charles
she got her name? What she got her name listed under there?
has her name.
Oh my
See you?
God. Oh boy. Oh boy.
What? My neighbor's gonna hear some yelling. Ooh, yeah, let's hear it.
HR, here we come.
Yeah, yep. Here we come. Okay, let's see here.
Department of Human Resources in the state of Alabama, if you don't know what that means.
They don't need to know that abbreviation. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. That last little comment right there threw me off. In an extremely competitive market like Memphis, should I still go on all appointments to build rapport and get the contract as low as possible?
I don't care where you are. If you're doing an effective job of marketing, you could easily talk to 100 people in a month. You wouldn't have any time to do anything else if you were going out to see all 100. In most cases, not all, the price needs to work over the phone before I go out. Now, sometimes if I'm already out and I get a call or something, I may just drive by if I'm in the area or whatever. And I may just get like the information as far as the house, and they didn't give me a price or whatever for some reason, and they just want me to make an offer. Then I may just drive by or whatever. I actually did that the other day, and they actually want a lot less than what I thought they would want for it or whatever. So hopefully that one works out. Matter of fact, a lady out of Houston helped me with that one. She did some cold calling for me, and so hopefully it'll work out for her. So
Okay.
it was over in the same area. Well, you were here the other week, the same area where I told you the two women called me where we put bandit signs. So we just started cold calling there. She can't stop that. La 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 la.
Neener. Okay, let's see here. LL Cool J, number 2. What do you say when potential buyers want to know the address?
You give it to, if you got it under contract, you give it to them. How are they going to evaluate the property if they don't have the address? Now, depending on the situation, if it's occupied, then you want to explain to them not just to go show up at the house because it's occupied or whatever, whether with the renter and or possibly the owner or whatever. But yeah, you got to give them the address. You know, that's the only way they're going to know if they have an actual deal or not. So.
Okay. Let's see here.
Or start their due diligence on knowing to see if it's something they'd be interested in.
Emmanuel Russell, and this is a question on YouTube, says, when looking at the assessed value on the tax assessor site, is the property value the improvement? If so, do I make an offer against that or the improvement in land assessment?
Well, normally they go together. It's a combination. It's a total of each. Normally, each market can be different on it, but from what I've seen in the past, normally that's a combination of both.
Okay, let's see here.
Total of both.
I have someone in my neighborhood who just put a for sale by owner sign up, even though I really have zero experience and about 50% knowledge. Should I approach them? I'm nervous.
Yeah, I don't care what you see me or anyone like me put out there as far as their information. Obviously, it can be useful or whatever, but nothing is going to be better than actual experience. I remember, you remember like when we started at 18, well, you know, I started before you did at Bell South, and all that information that they gave us or whatever. Now you're a lot smarter than me, but so you might have got a little better than me, but it didn't click to me until we started doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was just a lot of information crammed into a few weeks or whatever. But until we start actually talking to customers, well, if you don't know, the way Adrian and I met is that, were we in collections or you were in collections?
We were in collections. Okay. We was cutting the phones off.
Yeah, you done. I rarely did that, Avery. You know that?
I didn't either.
I rarely
I
did that.
didn't. I
Um,
didn't have it in my heart to do it.
yeah,
No.
now sometimes you couldn't make arrangements because of the guidelines, but they gave us a lot of flexibility. But anyway, the point being is that I didn't know how you didn't as much training as we had. We didn't know how to do the job until we actually did the job or whatever. And so this is the same thing. All the information, you're never going to be just 100% until you actually start taking live bullets. And people that I deal with on a student basis, I try to make it simple for them, and it's the way you may want to approach it also. But you can look at it this way. I make it simple for them, so you don't feel like you have to give an answer, and you don't. Whenever you talk to them, it's just a fact-finding collection. You just collecting information. So I provide them a script with the same questions, or basically that I just told the person top 10 questions asked sellers for wholesaling houses or whatever. So you just collecting information, and then you don't have to feel like you have to know what the ARV is right now on the property or whatever. So you can always tell them no, you can call them back that day or the next day, and then you do your due diligence and you go from there or whatever. So, but to answer her question, yeah, go ahead and call them. Just again, look up that video. Just have the attitude you don't care if they do a deal with you or not. And that's the attitude you should always have. You should also have the attitude that I got $10 million in the bank. You might not have 10 pennies in there, but have the attitude you got $10 million in the bank. And you're going to always, in my opinion, have the mindset to negotiate the best deal available if there's one to be had. So don't be afraid if you make a mistake. So what? You're going to learn from that experience. That's going to be so valuable to it. Now you'll know how to handle that situation if it comes up again. That's more valuable than anything that I can teach you once you have to get out there and start doing it yourself, in my opinion.
All right. Good answer. J. Royal Johnson, you're welcome. More than welcome for the webinar and the video. Sheila, oh, now you speaking to me, huh? Talking about some LOL. Hey, Adrian, whatever. You just saw that dome. Let's see here. Tammy C, always wanted to know how you two met. Job. Old Bell South.
Which is now AT&T.
AT&T, yeah. Let's see here. Hey, Ty. First, thanks. My question is, I work in a smaller area, and after putting my criteria into list source, absentee owners, it comes back with a few names. Should I move to a larger market?
Answer that. No.
I mean, if she put it in there and it only pull up a few names, then that's really a no-brainer. You're going to have to expand your criteria.
Or just go to a larger market. Sometimes it is what it is. If you're in a market with only 2,000 homeowners, it's only be able to pull that amount. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to go to a larger market for sure.
Shannon, you have a lot of motivators in here. They're saying go for it. You're an investor. Ty's videos will really help you, but experience is even better. You got this. That's right. That's what we're here for, team. If you have not joined the Wholesaling with the Flipman Facebook group, please do so. As Ty said, it started maybe a month ago. It is over like 4,000 members. Now, granted, those members aren't on here. Obviously, we don't have 4,000 people watching this. They're
you know what? I think next week, and I got to get you another camera. So we got to get you another device to do that. I want to do it in the group, but the group is closed. So that would lock out everybody that's not in the group. I would assume everybody's watching this. If this is not your first time, you're already in the group. So I want to do it in the group, but we would need another device. Well, I already got 3 of them set up here now, and you got 2. So we would have to try to figure out something to be able to blast within the group itself or whatever. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but I mean, we post the video that it's it's starting.
I want to be live. You know what I'm saying? Well, do we?
Torian, yeah, he puts join. He puts the invitation in there.
Well, that don't mean people do they get the alert on that or something?
Yeah, it says you've been invited. Are you going? Maybe, maybe not. Undecided. So yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
see
Well,
it.
okay. Well, what do
Yeah.
I know?
Yeah, I mean they can join, but I don't think there's
Well, we
any
don't
much
have that
more.
many. I'm looking at the number right here, Facebook.
I
Uh,
need every person that's here to bring a friend next week.
yeah, so
BYO, bring your own friend.
and we
BYO.
get a lot of views on it after it's over, but I think a lot of people would like to join live or whatever. So, I just try to make it easy for people, man. This is my thing. I like this little techie stuff. So
Okay, so Jenny Babadia. Oh, I hope I said that right. That is an awesome name. Oh, Babadia. Okay. How do I negotiate the taxes owed by a seller with the assessors? Do I need consent from the owner? And is that even possible?
each state is different on it. I know in the state of Alabama, from my understanding, there's no negotiating on no unpaid taxes. It may vary from state to state or whatever. Um, it is, the bill is what it is, and then they allowed to take its course if they don't pay it. It's a long process because they have a long redemption period in the state of Alabama. But most states have some form of redemption or some redemption period. So, but as far as negotiating the balance down, I don't. Again, that's going to vary probably from state to state. So.
All right. Air Flip Properties, which I believe is Kimberly, says, Flipman, I have a deal that I need your help with. Can I call you after the live? Hey guys, before he answers that question, just also want to put it out there, 50/50 dot deals. No.
That's
Yes.
it. That's it.
50/50 dot deals is still out there. If you have a deal that you think is a good lead and you've done your due diligence, you have all the numbers, you have the owner's information, you have all of that, and you need just that little to try on that deal. How you like what I did there, huh? Anyway, 50/50 dot deals, and Ty will partner up with you to see if y'all can close that deal out. But as far as Miss Kimberly, what?
Well, yeah, you gave it a right. You referred right. What you can do, Kimberly, is go to YouTube and do a search for 50/50 deals, just all one word, just put it all together. 50/50 deals, no spaces, 5050 deals. And you'll see that video, and it gives you instructions on what I'm looking for on those, on what I would take on as I guess a joint venture opportunity or whatever. So that's the best way to submit something to me, not by calling me, because normally that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to refer you back to that anyway. So there you go. But it's
Okay.
50/50 not .com, .deals, DEALS.
Deals. It's a lot to keep up with, man. I mean,
I know, man. So we need a video on just my website, though.
yeah. David Flores, how can I create my own leads instead of using lead source and all those paid lead generating sources? I would rather create my own lists.
Well, is he talking about list source?
Yeah, I mean, it's just he just wants to, I guess, get that information himself. But I mean, you have the tax assessor's office if you're doing delinquent tax
Well,
list.
yeah, see, list source, they're not really generating a lead for you. They're just providing a part of the equation to be able to target, which will turn into potential leads in bulk. Yeah, you can go out there and depending on what county you're targeting, maybe their website is friendly, but it would take just hours to probably sift through that information. I talked to a guy down in South Florida. He said I don't know what county he was referring to, but they'll just send you a list of $3,000 absentee owners for like $70 or whatever, something he said. I didn't know it. Again, I didn't know it. I said, well, that's great, man, because most counties or whatever, they're not like that. And so so the reason list source is valuable because they make it where you can target specifically particular areas or property type or owner types. It's not that you're buying leads from them. If I understand the question he's asking, you're not that you're buying leads, you're just using their service where they've accumulated all this information where it can be used for you to create your own criteria on the type of property owners you want to target. Now, there are some services out there that so-called sell leads, and I'm sure some of them will turn into deals if you bought enough of them. I highly recommend be careful with that, because you're not the only one buying those so-called leads or whatever. So, but at the end of the day, that is creating your own leads when you take a list source, a service like that, and using it to build a list that you can target through direct mail and or cold calling. So hopefully I'm answering the question.
I hope so too. So David, hopefully that was the answer that you were looking for. Darius wants to know, what do you use, Ty, to find a large number of owners who are renting and not going through a property managing company?
Well, that's a good question. I never thought about it in that way. I wish there was a list of landlords that were self-managing their own properties. I don't know if I have to think about it. I don't think there's something out there like that. That's going to be one of those cherry pick type things and just a lot of research or whatever. That's part of the reason why you buy lists from absentee owners. I buy an absentee loan owners list from a place like List Source because it's such a shotgun approach. As I mentioned earlier, is that the largest group of individuals that are going to call you are going to be tired landlords. So you can be proactive and reach out to them by phone call, also by property that they're actually trying to list for sale. So, but as far as buying a list of owner managed rental properties, I don't know if anything like that exists. It would be a great list.
Okay. Let's see here. Nightwolf says, Ty and Adria, thank you, Nightwolf, for recognizing that I'm here as well. I appreciate it. Anytime you have a question, it will be asked first. I'm just saying, I'm here too. Have more owners been honest and allowed you to get the property under contract, or have more waited out a contract just to give it to another buyer calling behind your back?
Say that again.
He wants to know, are sellers honest and allowing you the time that you asked the seller to do? Are they holding out and not wanting to, I guess, to close the deal with you and letting your contract expire so they can go to the buyer and cut you out?
No. That's never happened to me. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. That's never people. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's possible, but that's nothing to worry about. That's least of your worries.
You know what? I never thought about it, but man, Rock and Robin, you might be on something. Have you ever thought about this? Robin says the housing authority, the Section 8 list that lists all the info for landlords.
Well, yeah, you have, yeah, I already do that in a sense or whatever.
But it's still not the private owners. I mean, that's just Section 8. It doesn't necessarily all the people who just rent directly on their own. But I'm just saying, as another avenue, maybe, of tired landlords, you might find some there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's
but you can use that list for actually to target for sellers and to target for buyers also. Whatever. A lot of them will be buyers also. They'll be players to buy.
How long is the contract good for? Well, Laurel, typically 30, 45 days. That's really between you and the seller. Standard 30 days. You're asking them to give you a month to close out the deal because you're buying it. You're not saying I need a month to find a buyer for your home. Most definitely don't say that. That's what you're doing, but that's not what you're going to say. Just 30 days, right? Mm-hmm. Standard.
Mm-hmm.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. Hey guys, we did start a little late today. We've made up for that time. I'm just going through, there are some questions that are just quick and simple that a lot of people do want the answers to. I'm trying to feed through and make sure I hit those, some that are, easy and doesn't take 5 minutes to answer, or some that I can answer myself rather quickly. So that's what I'm going through. But in the meanwhile, just make sure you join us next Thursday. We'll be here 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 Eastern. Join the Facebook group. It was, somebody asked what was the name of it. It was Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man.
Yeah, they can access it through flipmanpodcast.com, as also they can access the podcast through iHeartRadio, iTunes, and for Android devices. So, but at flipmanpodcast.com, you can access the Flipman, the Facebook group.
Okay. Marixa Robels, I missed it. Post it for me really quick so I can most definitely ask that question. Tammy C, Adrian and Ty, is actually Adria. No N, not Adrian. It's Adria. Okay. You should listen to Emmanuel Russell. A morning radio show podcast would be hilarious. You guys make a great team and another stream of income. Thank you, Tammy. Although I must say right now, while most of you are still on, I have to apologize I had 2 subscribers. I think I can't even remember their name, but they were offended at my marker joke. He said he was riding with his daughter in his car and he needed to cut it off because it was getting vulgar. Although I don't think I said anything. It was one of those subliminal type messages. And if she knows what any of that meant, then that's a conversation that does not need to be having me. But I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, Mario's question has been answered. Appreciate the help by Joriel. Mario, you're not missing out on any deals. Thanks for the webinars. Bandit signs. Somebody asked where to get bandit signs. DirtCheapSigns.com. Get you a 5% discount if you mention Ty's name. 9x24 horizontal flutes, 1 color, 2 color max. Keep it simple, my friend. DirtCheapSigns.com. Okay, let's scroll through here. Ty, you got anything to add while I'm rolling through here?
Oh no, we're good. We're good.
No, first of all, BJ Duncan has jokes. This must be his first Flippinar. He says, "Is this Ty's wife? I'm late to the chat. You're banned. You can't come back no more." No, sir. Ain't nobody's wife. Thank you very much. Okay, just putting it out there. Okay. Paulina Pat Spratt on Facebook says, how many flips have you done? And what was your best market? Too many to count.
I have no idea. No idea. I should know, but I don't. But for my best market, I live here in Birmingham. As far as what we're talking about, which is houses, so obviously more here than by far anywhere else. So I have no idea. Paulina. So I've been doing this 15 years, so it's quite a few.
Quite a few. Yeah. Enough to know that this is well worth your time, Paulina. Enough to know that this information that he's providing to you is priceless. You can pay for it, but he's giving it to you free so it can ultimately change your life, change all of our lives. Let's see here.
Financial lives.
Yeah.
Money is not everything, but it just somehow deals with everything, but it's not everything.
Her question was, can you sell the property without the seller knowing?
No. Talking about some fraud at that point. No.
Yeah, they gotta.
Maybe she's not asking what we think she's asking. I guess she means, can you get paid without the seller knowing you getting paid? That may be what she means.
Well, she's new. She did mention that she's new. This is her, and let me
That's
see here.
probably
Her question was, can you sell the property to someone else without the seller knowing before you actually close with them? Is her first question.
Maybe she, again, if just to flat out sell without the seller knowing, they gotta know because they gotta sign off on it. But if you're talking about you getting paid without them, no, yeah, that's called a double close or whatever, simultaneously close or whatever the word is. But it can be done. I don't worry about it, but it can be done that way. If that's what you mean.
Okay. Can I? Oh, Edward, I already told you dirt cheap signs. Jenny wants to know, has anyone ever put a funeral home under contract before? Doesn't matter. Really?
I haven't, but hey, anything can be wholesale, as Renikia says. Anything can be flipped. If you got a buyer and you got a willing seller, you know what I'm saying? Anything, you can get in the middle of anything if you got both of those working. That is for sure.
All right, guys. Gonna read maybe 2 or 3 more questions. Again, join us on the Facebook group, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flipman. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Next week, be sure to bring a friend. Join, hit that like button down there. If you have any questions, you can reach out to tyflipman.net. Any questions that you have after the show, you can actually post them in the comment section of the video. Ty's pretty good about going through and answering those. He does have an ebook available if you need, a little reading material.
Yeah, you need the glue to put all these videos together, these 250 plus videos together. That ebook is the glue. It's step by step. It just, again, it's only as valuable as you taking advantage of the videos also. And for that small amount of money, I think it's worth it. And then right now it's still with the bonus of the wholesaling apartments live training I did back in, I think, October of last year, 2017. And so you get that as a bonus. That's worth more than the cost of it right there. Then you get the contracts to go along with it. So. But yeah, so the ebook, you can get that at wholesaling.guide or whatever. Also, that's wholesaling.guide, not .com, wholesaling.guide, GUIDE.
Okay. So last few questions. Mario, you did not shout me out, and no, you did not spell my name right. I appreciate you joining us. It's your first Flippinar. I said there is no N, not at the end and not at the beginning. So not Andrea and not Adrienne. It's Adria. Your excuse. You get a pass this time. Kimbella Renee says, is wholesaling good for people that live in New York City? Wholesaling is good for people that live anywhere.
Well, yeah, in New York, and I haven't. I said I want to actually go there myself and spend a little time, and I want to do a deal there myself or whatever. But at the end of the day, this is the only way you have to look at it. And I'll be shocked if you don't agree with me. New York City is a different animal, right?
Right.
In the sense just how it's laid out, how you can own dwellings. For us, it would appear to be an apartment building, but it may be 200 units in there, but you got 200 different owners. That really doesn't exist in Birmingham unless you got a condo or a townhouse or something. But that's in abundance in New York, from my understanding. Or whatever. So it's just not a lot of single family dwellings. So you have to take all that stuff in consideration. Prices of properties are extremely high, but that's a good thing. That just simply means your checks will be a lot larger than what I'm accustomed to and others around the country. But at the end of the day, people get divorced in New York. People die. People lose their jobs / incomes. People relocate. People are tired landlords, tax situations, medical issues, which causes large medical bills. It's just everyday life. Those create motivated sellers, which causes motivated sellers to sell real estate cheaper than they normally would sell, or just don't care, whatever the situation may be. With that being said, you as a wholesaler, your job is to do an effective job of letting those individuals know you exist and that you buy houses. That's simple. All right. Now, how you put a deal together, that may be a little different and just the perception. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of money in New York. People are ready to buy deals. It's been done. I've talked to I haven't really talked to, I talked to a guy that does a lot of flips, and he said 50% of his deals come from wholesalers. And it's rare that he pays a wholesaler less than 25 grand on the properties that they feed him. So, there you go, or whatever. So to answer your question, oh yeah, most definitely.
LL Cool J, I will leave the key under the mat for you. Just don't make too much noise as you come in. Night Wolf says, Adria, dinner for two when I close the deal over 5K. We ain't going Dutch. You best believe. My mama ain't raised me to split no bill. And next question, we're going to just close out this evening by helping Marixa. Everybody say hey to Marixa. It's her first time here. She was the question about doing it without the seller. And I think what she's trying to say, as Robin says, is can you assign it without the seller knowing? I guess ultimately with her being new, I'm sorry if I say this wrong, but I think she may not understand the wholesale concept. So in 30 seconds, explain what wholesaling is, Ty. Go.
Wholesaling is basically understanding that all real estate transactions start with a contract. When you and a seller enter into a purchase and sales agreement, you're saying you are going to buy the house. Nothing prevents someone from coming along with cash money to actually buy your contract. That is basically a wholesale transaction. It's normally done with an assignment of contract and or a double close. All those terms, you can dive deeper into that. Just simply go to YouTube and just do a search for wholesaling houses step by step for beginners. And you should see one of my videos. It's 19 minutes and 41 seconds long. I break it down. You see how long it is. And I think it has over 56,000 views right now. So.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for being here with this evening. You're more than welcome, Marixa. I hope that helps you. Check out that video and make sure you join us next week. Guys, as always, we say get Gator. Go get you a check and make some money. So if nothing else, we'll see you next week, guys, on the flip side. Bye.
Bye-bye.